Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to Declutter Week. We're going to be going through my whole makeup collection this week and decluttering. It's been about a year since I've done a declutter series on my channel, and I feel like it was about time. I'm not trying to get rid of a ton of makeup or do anything drastic or dramatic with my collection. I am literally just going through it for myself and filming it, getting rid of things that I know I'm not going to use or that don't serve any purpose in my collection, and keeping the things that I like, whether I really need them or not. So I hope you enjoy the declutter. So it is a long video. I tried to give little reviews of each thing as we go along, so I hope those are helpful for you. If you do not like declutter videos, if you do not like to see makeup collections, if that makes you feel some type of way, please close out of the video now. There is no need to leave unnecessary mean comments. I feel the need to put this in here at the beginning because I see so many comments on declutter videos on other channels on YouTube that are just so unnecessary. It really baffles me. So if you don't want to see a makeup collection, people getting rid of things, don't watch. Click out. Go find something else to watch. Okay, I just had to put that out there, but for those of you that like declutters, I hope you enjoy this one, and let's get into it. 2 primers. This should be pretty quick. I don't have too many, so we'll go through them pretty quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time swatching these or anything. I'm just going to go through them. So Saie Glowy Super Gel. I have Star Glow, which is the lighter one. Love this. It's just a really great glowy base. Doesn't have a lot of pigment in it. It's mainly all glow, but this is so pretty under foundation, under concealer. It's great. I love it. So that is a keep. I also have this one for summertime, Sun Glow. I'll show you this one really quickly. This one I like because it is a bronze, but when you blend it in, it really shears out, so it doesn't look orangey. It just gives you like the slightest bit of a bronze color. I love both of those, so those are definitely keeping. Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. You know I love these so much. I'm keeping all of them. I have different shades depending on my skin tone at the time. I have 2, 4.5, and 2.5. Those are absolutely staying, not going anywhere. I also have 3 of the e.l.f. Halo Glows. I have shade 2, 3, and 4, depending on what kind of mood I'm in and if I have self-tan on or not. I love these as well. Those are staying. All right, these are actually foundations right here, if you can see these, so we're skipping that. This is my new Valentino V-Lighter in the shade Rosa. It's like a light pink glowy base. This one gives you a glow very similar to that Saie Glowy Super Gel, but this one has more of a pinky hue to it, whereas the Saie one is more just glow. There's not much base pigment to it. Anyway, this is new to me and I'm still using it. It hasn't blown me away, but I do like it, but it's staying. e.l.f. Power Grip. I love these. I have both the original and the Niacinamide one. Great drugstore primer. Keeps your makeup on all day. These go viral and they're very popular, but for good reason. They really do make a difference in making your makeup last all day. So that is staying. Also, Holy Grail Milk Hydro Grip. I love so much. This is another Holy Grail primer. Love this for when I need my makeup to last. It will not go anywhere when I use this. It's amazing. Highly recommend. Definitely keeping. I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I don't use it, you guys. The Plump Right Back Serum Primer from NYX. It's actually pretty good. It's a little bit tacky and it adds a little bit of glow, but I just know I'm always going to choose the e.l.f. Power Grip over this one. I just don't ever find myself wanting to use this, so I am going to go ahead and declutter that one. I am also going to declutter this Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Sun Kissed Face Primer. So this actually has self-tanner in it, so the idea is you're supposed to be able to apply it a few days in a row, and over the few days you will naturally get a little bit of a tan on your face. I do agree it gives you just like a slight tan. I don't really enjoy applying this. It's a little bit, first of all, it has that really strong Ole Henriksen smell. And I just don't ever find myself in a situation where I think, oh, I want to use that primer with the self-tan in it. I don't know. I just feel like this is one that's just going to sit as it has been doing, and I'm not going to use it. So that's going to go. The Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Face Primer. This is definitely staying. This is a really nice smoothing primer. It works beautifully with their powder foundation. They actually sent this to me when they sent me the powder foundation, and they're made to go together, and they actually really do pair well together. So I love that foundation. I definitely want to keep the primer. The Cali Ray So Blown Blurring Primer. This one is good. It's not like an absolute favorite for me. To me, it's similar to the Rare Beauty, but I prefer the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. This one is almost chalky on me, as weird as that sounds. I feel like it does kind of blur the skin, but I expected it to be a little bit more hydrating than it is. It's very, very dry. I would describe it as chalky, kind of, but it's pretty new to me, so I don't want to get rid of it. But the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing is much better. This one does the same thing, but it is not drying at all. I would highly recommend this one from Rare Beauty. This one, it's okay, but I would not buy it again. I would not really recommend it. The Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. This I like. Definitely adds more glow than blurring, in my opinion. This is more, it's like a serum texture, as you can see. And I don't know, I don't really get where they're going with the blurring in here. I don't find this to be very blurring at all, but it's nice under makeup. I don't agree with the blurring aspect, but I like it and I am gonna keep it. L'Oreal Prime Lab Redness Eraser. This is pretty good. Very, very, very pigmented though, so you need like very little of this primer. It can leave a little bit of a cast on your face if you use too much, but if you use it sparingly, it's nice. It also has 4% niacinamide in it, which is also great. So I am going to keep that from L'Oreal. The Ordinary Silicone Primer. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This is just okay. I prefer the Rare Beauty primer if I'm going for a more blurring primer. That's the one I'm going to go for. Or even that Jane Iredale one. This one is just okay, but there's nothing special about it that makes me like want to use it. So I think that one is going to go. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty, almost said Poreless Putty Bronzer. Poreless Putty Primer. This I ordered randomly. I don't even remember. Sometime when I was ordering from e.l.f., I needed to spend like a few more dollars to get free shipping. So I ordered one of these, and I've used this in the past, and I actually do like it. And this is pretty, this is a new one, so I'm going to keep it. This is not something I use that often, but I like it enough to definitely keep it around. Did you guys see the new e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer that's coming out? I think it's coming out this coming week sometime. I saw it on Instagram, but I will be keeping that. And that is it for primer. Let's move on to foundation. This one is going to be tough because I love my foundations. So I'm not going to swatch all these. If I do, we'll be here until 2024, but I will swatch the ones that I think are worth swatching, okay? All right, we're going to start over here. I have just a few. The Merit Minimalist Complexion Sticks. I love these. I have one that's a little bit lighter and one that's a little bit darker. Oops. So I have shade Ecru, which is there. And then I have shade Linen. It's It's a little bit lighter. So Ecru is a little bit closer to my skin tone. Linen is okay for like under my eyes, brightening the center of my face. I really enjoy these from Merit, so those are definitely staying. The Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Foundation in light number 5. This is a newer one to me. I bought it during the Sephora sale. I've used it in several more recent videos. The most lightweight, beautiful, flawless, just airbrushed looking foundation. I thoroughly enjoy this. I love the packaging. I love everything about it. So that is an easy keep. As is the Haus Labs foundation, the Triclone Skin Tech in 160 Light Neutral. This is one I will say in the wintertime, this one is a little bit dark, but right now it's okay. So that is it there. So I'll definitely be keeping this one of my favorites. I have this, I forget the name of this, but this is from Surat. They sent this to me, the Surreal Skin Foundation Wand in shade number 3. So this one is one where you press this button, the foundation comes out of this little brush. I don't love the packaging on this. It's kind of messy and it's kind of hard to get the product out of this little brush thing here, but the product itself is pretty. This is newer to me, so I definitely want to keep it and keep trying it out. And then they also sent me this. I've used this one much more than the other one. This is the Dewdrop foundation in shade number 3. So you might be familiar with this one. You press this little button and the product comes out. It's very, very thin and lightweight. Not a lot of coverage, but oh, is it pretty on the skin. I like this a lot. It's very, very light in coverage, but oh my gosh, it is so pretty on the skin. It's literally undetectable. So I definitely will be keeping it. Patrick Ta cream foundation in light number 3. Still love this. You get the powder in here as well. This is still one of my favorite foundations. I know this is very controversial. Not everyone loves this. I love it very much. Okay, moving on. Do I even need to say anything? NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in Deauville. Holy Grail, favorite in my collection, 100%. I absolutely love this. It's a pretty good match for me. This one is in the shade Deauville. Every time, this one never lets me down, ever. Whenever I need my makeup to look good and I don't want to think about it, this is the one I go for. I love it. Okay, then I have this one. This is gonna go because it's expired. The NARS Longwear Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. Okay, this is so old, you guys. So old, like it's all separated. So I'm gonna get rid of this. But this is, if you want a full coverage foundation, this is a great one. I mean, full coverage. If you have anything you want to cover, this will cover it. And it's beautiful on the skin. It's a very, like, I'm wearing makeup kind of foundation. But if that's what you're needing for like a special occasion or something, this is one of the most beautiful full coverage foundations ever. But it is old and it's time for it to go. Dior Forever Skin Glow in 1.5 Neutral. I like this. It's not a holy grail status for me. It's pretty. It's very, very glowy. I believe it has SPF in it too. Yeah, SPF 35. This has also been reformulated since I got this. So this is the older version, but very pretty, especially for summertime. I think it's really pretty with the glow that you get. Solid medium coverage, pretty good. I will definitely be keeping my Dior Backstage foundations. I love. I just used these in a video. This is a great foundation. Every time I go a while and don't use this and then start back using it, I'm reminded how good this is. The day I wore this in that video, the sip and makeup video, my makeup wore incredibly well. This stuff is long wearing, like to the max. If you want a really good event, long wear, medium coverage, beautifully natural looking foundation, this look no further, although I have not tried the new version, so I hope it's still good. These are the old ones, and there's a chance these might be expired, but I don't care. I'm not having issues with them, so I'm just gonna continue on. But so good, so good. I had to change my battery. My battery died. All right. This one, Makeup Forever HD Skin. You guys, I do not know. I do not know what to do about this one. I've tried this so many times. I just do not love how it looks on me. Also don't love the color. The color's a bit, it's all right, I guess. It's a little bit yellow, but I feel like I need to get rid of this. I just don't think this is the one for me, sadly. It's gonna go. I really like this one, but this is gonna go also because it is long expired, the Makeup Forever Reboot. Do they even make this anymore? I hope they do. Because this to me is better than the HD Skin. That's probably not a popular opinion, but I think this one is better. It's just very lightweight, pretty, kind of in between a tinted moisturizer and a foundation to me. It's kind of like a tinted foundation. It's beautiful, and I would definitely keep it, but like this is definitely expired, 100%. So it's gonna go, but it's a good one. I don't know if that one even exists anymore. If it doesn't, that's gonna make me really sad. Ooh, okay. Let's talk about these. All right, I feel like this is kind of a controversial one. Either you really like these or you really don't. I actually like this foundation. This is the I Woke Up Like This from Il Makiage. This one, let's see, shade 20. So a lot of people claim that this is a really heavy foundation, and I totally disagree. I think this is not full coverage. I would say this is like a medium. It can definitely be built up to full coverage if you want, but I find this to be a pretty solid medium coverage. It is leaning on the matte side. It's more of like a soft matte finish, so I like to pair this with a glowier primer underneath. But I think this is a really pretty foundation, personally. I have two shades. I have shade 20, which is that one, and shade 25. I usually end up mixing the two, but I mean, this is not an everyday foundation for me. It's definitely more of like an event type product, but I like it. It wears well. I think it's good, so I will be keeping these. Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. This one is shade 6.5. I've talked about this before, but I don't have a perfect match in this foundation. This one is, the undertone is okay, but it's dark. It's very dark, so I have to add in something like my LA Girl mixer with it. And I do like it though. It's pretty. It's just not a perfect match for me. And even the lighter shades in this, I have never been able to determine a good match that's lighter than this for my skin tone. So I am going to keep it. It's a beautiful foundation, very pretty, great coverage, just a natural, slightly glowy but not too glowy finish. So I'm going to keep it. I like it, but the shade is definitely a bit dark for me. Ooh, okay. The Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation. I'm going to get rid of this. First of all, it's old, but this I bought at the cosmetics company store, extremely discounted, probably at least 2 years ago, maybe longer actually than 2 years. It's definitely expired. This is an okay foundation. It's highly, highly, highly fragranced. Smells kind of like lavender. It smells good, but I mean, it's potent with fragrance. And it's very expensive. I mean, I think this retails for like $150. It is not worth $150. I forget what I paid for it, but I definitely didn't pay that. I paid significantly less than that. This is the shade Champagne 3.7, and I think actually this shade might have even been like a discontinued shade maybe, and that's why it was there. So that's it there. I mean, it's not a bad foundation. It's very, I would say pretty glowy, medium coverage. It's nice. I'm pretty positive it's expired. It's nice. I mean, I'm looking at the swatch on my hand thinking, oh, that looks nice actually, but I'm almost positive this is expired. So I'm thinking this needs to go. Armani Luminous Silk, shade number 5, definitely will be keeping. This is a holy grail for a lot of people. It's not my holy grail. I like my NARS Light Reflecting a little bit better, but this is still a beautiful foundation. Very skin-like, thin, just, it's beautiful. It is. And they call it luminous. I wouldn't really call it super luminous. I can understand the silk. It's very silky, very smooth, natural on the skin. I just don't find it to be super luminous, but anyway, I do like it. We'll definitely be keeping it. Okay, I had to go get some iced coffee. I forgot, you guys, how long these declutter videos take. It's been almost a year since I filmed one, and these are no joke. I'm telling you, they take a long time. Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. You know, if you watch my videos, I love this so much. My favorite drugstore foundation is this one. If I had to pick one, it would be this one. I wear shade 117, and this is just perfection in my eyes. It is lightweight, a little bit dewy, but not too dewy. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful on the skin. So natural. I love this. If you've tried this, let me know what you think, but this is just one of the best I've tried from the drugstore in a long time. It has squalane, hyaluronic acid. Beautiful. Definite keep. We'll also be keeping the True Match. This is shade W2. Pretty good match for me as well. I could probably do N2 as well, but this is great too. A little bit thinner and more liquidy than that Revlon one, but still very natural. Just a great line in general from the drugstore. They have so many colors, so many undertones. Definitely a keep. The Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. This is shade Warm Vanilla. Okay, so this was the one I was talking about earlier, that the concealer in Warm Vanilla is like ultra yellow. This one is more of a warm undertone, but it is not quite as yellow as the concealer in this color. I don't know why, but it's not. So this shade in the foundation is okay for me. I never reach for this though. This is very full coverage, like extremely full coverage, and I just have very few occasions where I use that. I am much more of a medium coverage foundation person. I just feel like if I keep this, it's just gonna sit. I'm not gonna use it. I'm always gonna go for that Revlon or the L'Oreal one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. Then we have these from Maybelline. This is the Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. This is a really good one from the drugstore. The only thing, and it's a big thing, is the shade range, and this is not good. The shade range is terrible. But this foundation is really pretty. Let me make sure I've wiped off my hand. I have 2 of them because the shades, I do not have a great shade match in this. This one is shade 20. Looks like that. It's pretty pinky. Not a bad match though. And then I have shade 60, which is there. Neither of them is like a perfect match for me. I can really mix them, but this is a beautiful foundation. If you've tried this, let me know what you think, but it's kind of an interesting texture. It's almost like a whipped creamy texture when it comes out, but then it dries down to more of like a, I would say like a satiny finish. I feel like no one talks about this. I actually saw one of my favorite makeup artists talking about that foundation, Kellyanne, Makeup by Kellyanne, or Makeup XKA on Instagram. I've seen her use that a bunch of times, and it's a good foundation. Just the shade range sucks. But it's good. I am going to keep those because I enjoy them. The e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation in the shade Vanilla 240. Okay, this is also a pretty foundation, but the smell on this one, I have a really hard time getting past this smell. If you've used this, you know what I mean. It smells like an older person's home. It smells like your grandma's old perfume from 50 years ago. It's like a powdery, just very unpleasant smell. And I do find that it kind of lingers. So I struggle with this because the foundation itself is actually pretty. It's just this, I just don't like the smell. I hate the smell. But it's a good foundation. I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't use it as it is, and I just know I'm not gonna reach for it. I'm just not. I wish so bad they would re-release that foundation and remove that scent. Okay, the new Gucci foundation. This one is definitely staying. I use shade 160N in this. Now this is a pretty full coverage. So if I'm going for full coverage out of all of these, this is the one that I would go for. It's matte, which is not what I always like, but this, you guys, paired with a glowy primer underneath, and you just apply a very light layer of this. I really, really like it. I feel like I've seen very mixed things about this. People either love it or absolutely hate it. I like it. I really like it. And this shade is pretty decent. I do think this foundation oxidizes just slightly, but the shade works fine for me. It's a pretty good match for me, actually. And if I'm going full coverage out of all my foundations, that's the one. Long wearing, I mean, this stays on all day, just like the Dior Backstage Base and Body. This one is like that. It just stays. It's beautiful. Definitely a keep. The Saie Glowy Super Skin. This is obviously very new. It hasn't been out super long. This is shade 7. This is one that's finicky, but when I apply it a certain way, I do like how it looks. This one, you just have to use very little underneath, is the most simple way to put it. You don't need a lot of skincare. In fact, you should not apply a lot of skincare under this because there is so much skincare in this formula. If you apply too much of other things underneath, I find it just doesn't sit well on my skin. But I did retry it a few weeks ago in a video, and I applied it the way that they suggest applying it, which is with very minimal product underneath, and it's very pretty that way. So I am going to keep it. It is a bit of a finicky formula though. Okay, we have talked about this. I am so obsessed with this product. This is one of the most like beautiful shades, formulas, everything on me. I have used this so much already since I got it. You guys, this color is perfection. 1 and 2 from Estee Lauder in the Double Wear Sheer. I am telling you, this is one of the best things I've ever put on my face, and I don't say that lightly. If you have not tried this, I waited way too long to try this out. This is beautiful. It is sheer like it says, but it does give coverage. It's not so sheer that it's just like a tint. This is beautiful. Love it. SPF 19, which is kind of random, but I'm telling you, this is a fantastic product. Oh no, you guys. Okay, Light Wonder. This is expired. I know it is because it says this expired in 2022, you guys. And I'm almost positive this is being discontinued. Why, Charlotte Tilbury? Why would you discontinue this? It's very difficult to find online. Maybe she's gonna like relaunch it, I hope. Add more shades. The shade range on this is not great, so that is definitely something they could improve, but I love this. But it's expired. I know I need to get rid of it, but that makes me so sad. Okay, Kojin Dough Moisture Foundation. This was 100% influenced by Kellyanne, the makeup artist I talk about all the time. She influenced me to buy this quite a while ago. It was ridiculously expensive. I have the shade 113. And okay, this is one, it's fine, but there's nothing special to me about this. However, it was so expensive, I will be keeping it and using it up. You get very little product. You get very, very little product in here. And I paid a lot of money for it, so I will be keeping it, but it's okay. Nothing stand out about it, and the shade range is horrific. I have it. I'm gonna keep it and try to use it up, but I would not buy it again. The Dermablend CC. This is very good. Actually, you know what? This is better. If you want a CC cream, this is way better than this. Way better. So this is definitely gonna go, now that I think about it. This is really great coverage, but something about it is not, I don't know, it's not as heavy as the It Cosmetics CC cream, yet it still gives like really great coverage, but it's expired. Blair, it's expired. Okay, I'm getting rid of it, but if you want a CC cream, SPF 50, I would definitely go for this. I think you can still get this. They used to sell it at Ulta. I'm assuming they still do. I don't know, but this is definitely much better. Saie Slip Tint. I wear shade number 3. This is just okay. It's a tinted moisturizer. It gives very, very little coverage. Of my tinted moisturizer, skin tint type products, this is pretty low down on the list. It's just okay. It's not anything that really excites me, but for this time of year, I reach for this type of product a lot, and it's not expired. It's fairly new, so I'm gonna hang on to that. Also gonna keep this. This is new to me, the number 7 Hydroluminous Skin Perfector. I tried this probably a month or 2 months ago in a drugstore video, and I actually really liked this. Very lightweight, glowy, but not too glowy. And oh yeah, see, I forgot, this is actually really nice. The shade Light is pretty good for me. Kind of similar, I would say, to the what is it, Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Similar to that, but I actually like this one better. Oh yeah, that's super pretty. I need to put this in my everyday drawer. This is really nice if you want something light, a little bit glowy. This is good. I want to keep that for sure. Another tinted moisturizer, but this one I love, the Tower 28 Sunny Days tinted moisturizer. This is about on the same, I would say these two are similar products. This one is much better. It gives better coverage. It looks better. It's not quite as dewy as the Saie. The Saie is borderline kind of oily looking. This one from Tower 28 has a little bit of glow, but not like excessive glow. So that I will definitely be keeping. Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in light medium. This is also really good. I have not used this lately though. I want to say this is expired. Oh yeah, it's nice though. Gosh, I really need to get this out and use it again. It smells kind of funny though. Yeah, it smells kind of weird. This is great though. Similar to that number 7, like I said. This one I would say is a little less glowy. Not a ton, but not quite as dewy as the number 7, but similar. And the coverage is decent. Not full or anything, but you get a decent coverage for this type of product. I would recommend, but I am going to get rid of it because it smells funny. We are nearing the end, you guys. This is actually a good one. The Neutrogena Healthy Skin in Nude 40. Packaging is terrible. They need a pump. But this is a really pretty drugstore foundation. Now, nobody talks about this ever. But this is a very kind of similar in texture to the L'Oreal True Match. It's very liquidy, very thin, has SPF. I don't see, oh, it says expires in 2024, so we're good. I'm going to keep this for sure. I need to use that more. That's a hidden drugstore gem. The Shiseido Radiant Skin, Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting in shade 210 Birch. This is very pretty as well. I like this quite a bit. This is one I don't use this one much either, to be honest. I always go for my NARS Light Reflecting for this type of formula. They actually kind of remind me of each other. This one is a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit glowy, but it's also a little bit drier in the formula. It's not dry, it's just not as liquidy as like the NARS. And I believe it has SPF, yeah, SPF 30. So yeah, that I am definitely gonna keep. Neutrogena Healthy or Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation in Light Medium 2. This is really nice. Thin, serumy texture. I use this in my summer drugstore makeup look. If you saw that, this is what I used in that video. This is one of the prettiest drugstore skin tint products. They call it a foundation. I would not call it a foundation. I would call it a skin tint for sure. Don't love the packaging with the dropper, but I love everything else. So that I will be keeping. My camera died again, so I didn't realize, but my last few were these. The Mixing Pigments from LA Girl. Those are definitely staying. I am going to get rid of the Misha BB cream. I got this out to use it a few days ago, and first of all, the formula seems like it had gotten a little bit like almost chunky, as weird as that sounds. And I didn't love how it looked on me. It almost looks, it's always been a bit of like a gray tone, but I remember it kind of adapting a little bit better to my skin tone. And the last time I used it, I don't know, I just didn't love how it looked. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And then the last ones were the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizers, which I love. I definitely want to keep these. Very glowy, but in a good way, not too glowy. Mixing these two shades is like a perfect match for me, 14 and 26. The shade range on these is a little bit iffy, kind of like Rare Beauty I was talking about earlier, but I like these a lot and definitely want to keep them. So that is it.